Well, hello everyone. This video might be a little bit funny. I want it to be funny because I just come from 2 hours from the dentist. So, believe it or not, I am laughing. The reason why I'm going to make this video, um, purpose, purposely, purposely funny, is because it's ironic. I'm outside. I should have the time of my life, and I just got a new tripod, and at the same time I'm gonna stand from the distance, so you don't get sidetracked by my funny looking mouth. And then at the same time I'm gonna try to make some sense into my reason for this little video. And you could make this stuff up. Anyways, so today we had a chance to wow, how about this? All funny aside, what if you have all the time in the world to do absolutely nothing? You have all the time in the world, that you have all the money in the world, your health is good, money is not a problem, you've got no debt, no bill at your age. I think it was is the author of the book, um, um, about happiness. He wrote there's a video about a movie about him. Oh, he said, start Chris Wagner. Start where you are. Don't wish for things to be better. Don't wish for your life to be better. In other words, don't wait for all the circumstances to be right. And so I'm not gonna wish my mouth was, it was normal. In fact, I want it to be funny because I had the freedom to plan my dental appointment today. And today is a beautiful day. It's not raining, and I would not want to dismiss this beautiful day because of my dental issue. And I want it to be funny. Right now, I wanted to eat so bad, and I'm talking funny, and I'm hungry. I just picked up some food. Unfortunately, I've got 3 to 4 hours before I can eat anything solid. I cannot drink anything hot or too cold. I cannot chew. But you want to know the beautiful thing about today? Look at outside. I'm in the most beautiful park. The most beautiful things surrounded me. Nice water, and more importantly, I've got no care in the world for now. So, which is why I'm absolutely grateful for health, for a clear mind, and a new perspective on life, and more importantly, grateful for this beautiful weather. If it was not from, if it was not for a video being shaky, I would give you a panoramic view, but you already know, you already see what the view is all about. And I want to take time between the sounding of the birds and people walking by, walking their dogs. And regardless of what's going on in your life at the moment, and you're wondering, why aren't you the one outside in the fresh air, enjoying the beauty of nature and listening to the nature's symphony, the birds? Right now, if I was home, I would be listening to Beethoven, Rachmaninoff, Chopin, or Mozart, violin concerto, or Beethoven Symphony Number 9, as accompanied sound music But today I am accompanied by the nature's beautiful symphony of birds, and I have the best view. And I want to start with gratitude, because that was the message preached at church last Sunday about gratitude, and I was already thinking about that theme anyway. You know, being grateful for my health, being grateful for having an open mind, being grateful for my dentist who got the best quality school so she could take care of my teeth. And I have my dental care done by two beautiful women, and I'm listening to the beautiful nature music, and I was in my element. And here I am out in nature thinking, man, it couldn't get any better than that. So before uh, the weather changes, before we are in New England, before the weather changes, and I wish I could be outside, I would not let anything get in the way of trying to get into your mind about my favorite subject, money. You cannot avoid it. Most of us, the best of us. I'm surrounded by the best and the brightest people with PhD in this, PhD in that, theologian, psychologist, real estate investors, real estate brokers. Oh yeah, I just participated in a meeting with a real estate agent, a friend of mine. We went to symphonies together multiple times, and in order to spice things up, we decided we were supposed to hang out, and she invited me to her clients, who is a real estate agent, and she, market is a little down right now, and she invited her clients to be part of like an open meeting, a social encounter. Unfortunately, very few people couldn't make it, and she had this beautiful report with nice pictures. And I don't have to remind you, the real estate market is actually down right now, so things are not looking great. The interest rate is high. There is a liquidity crisis, you could say. There's not enough units in the market for sale, and with the interest rate right now, only those who are able are basically buying. And with the renting cost so high, many people, many many people preferred to, you can either stay in your high rent situation, and rent is getting higher and higher, or get into a house at a much higher rate and wait for interest rate to go down, so that way you can refinance. Right now, there are a lot of agents that would lose their jobs because there's not enough sales going on. And you could say the junior agents who have not yet built a portfolio of clients who can afford to be in business on purely referrals alone. The reason why I could tell you this is because I used to work as a car salesman. I was bored with the job that I was doing. I decided to do something new, and I wanted to tackle into sales. So I started with this company, and they had absolutely zero training to become a car salesman, except for a bunch of DVD they have that I could spend my time to learn how to sell cars, and no one would teach me. Well, the older salesman, okay, this guy, his name is Mr. Cruz. I'm not gonna say his name because he's probably retired by now, because it's been over 20 years. Anyway, this gentleman was the sharpest. He's got this voice and charisma about him. People walk into the dealership. It doesn't really matter how many people are working in the office. his presence alone, his experience, his charisma, people naturally gravitate to him. And I'm like, man, this guy can live on referrals alone. He doesn't need to make himself available in a flow room when a client comes in. And when someone walked in, hi, I'm Mr. Cruz. I'm like, dude, you have clients you build for a long time. Give the newbie with no training a little chance to get some, you know, some experience. But I was new, and I decided the first 2 weeks or month, uh, spend time in front of a computer to watch some DVD on how to sell, and then for each sessions would follow by quiz, and I'm sitting there bored out of my mind, but motivated to get some sales. So needless to say, after a month or so of self training, I got into selling about 7 to 10 cars a month. When the average seasoned Mr. Cruz was selling about 20 cars a month, 20 to 30. Okay, and most of his sales are people who bought, every few years come back to him to buy, not to mention sending their friends to buy from him. And so, in a way, the real estate market is the same way. People who've been around for a long time can afford to sell based on referrals alone. They built a clientele to sell to their existing clients and their clients' clients and their clients' clients' clients. You could say the influential effect of one seasoned salesperson has a 3 degree of influence. You have the first layer of client who sells to the second, who refer a second layer of client, and based on experience, competence, and confidence, that one seasoned agent has 3 degrees of influence. And after that, the influence, however good, dissipates a little bit, because it doesn't matter how good you are. Information basically diminishes in value in 3 degrees of separation. Whether you're a car salesman, a real estate agent, a mortgage broker, it doesn't really matter. But you have this guy come in. He worked for a mortgage company, and here I am. Well, I don't want to get there, but the only person of color in the room. So I'm standing there talking to the owner of, it's a 3 branch office, but he's the owner, the overseer of 3 branches. Very nice guy. His name is John. Oh my goodness, class act. We spoke for a good half an hour, and the integrity is right there. I would love to even just send him some referral, just because the man was so nice, and he was respectful. And the other guy basically, he come in and say hello and give John a handshake in my hand, and I'm watching his behavior. Uh, Obviously, I don't come across like a buyer, and I have on my name tag. Everyone has a name tag, first name and what you do, and I put crypto investor, and of course I wanted to be funny, and of course I'm into crypto, but I was ignored the whole time, because I'm in a very affluent town, and obviously I don't belong, because there's not much of me in that town. Even though I know the town very well, I lived in it for 10 years, but you wouldn't know, because I don't look like I'm of the town. So obviously I'm in a very affluent town, in a very beautiful, well-designed office. So obviously I don't belong. I don't look like I belong. And actually this is perfect, because I was there to observe people's behavior, having me with a name tag said crypto investor. And it's designed to create a conversation. Anyways, the season, you could say, unprofessional, mortgage guy, and made a mistake. Obviously, never underestimate a person because you never know what kind of lead that person can bring you, because you don't know who they know. It's not the person you're interested in, is who they know and whose influence. Obviously, this guy have not read several books, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He wanted to talk about himself, and obviously, no wonder why he goes from one real estate, one open house to open house, basically uninvitedly invite himself. That's basically, he admitted that he makes a living at crashing open houses, scounging for lead, and obviously he's a 100% um, commission a commission junkie who goes from one place to the next, looking for a lead. Let's just say he didn't look like the guy who belonged. Now he doesn't look like the guy that I would pass on the lead to, because of the way he perceived me. Irregardless, I don't have any, not even an ounce of insecurity when it comes to something like that. But I'm there looking for an opportunity, for an excuse to make a video, so that way I can do a psychological assessment of the people there. Anyway, the lady who had the meeting, very professional, beautiful inside out, great personality, and I would love, as I talk to people, basically just pass people to her. And I intend to go back to the office and do some kind of like a crypto awareness, or blockchain awareness, not crypto, blockchain awareness, because there's a lot going on in real estate tokenization as well. So I'd like to talk to her about that. And it was her idea, and I intend to basically go back to her and initiate that conversation. Because during down market, what do a well-trained, well-professional agent, broker has going on? They've got nothing going on. So basically they're having, open house, bring in their clients to have a social to keep the relationship in tight. My mortgage broker friend should have learned something. Instead of going from one office or one party to another to basically crash the party and make himself an uninvited guest, you could say a cockroach who goes from one office to the next to looking for leads. He managed to make it seem like he seems very impressionable, but he was not very impressionable, because he spent most of his time talking about himself. Obviously, he has not read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. All he had to do is go there and make people talk about themselves, and he could actually get any and all leads, because his specialty is basically his mortgage company deals with deals that nobody wants to deal with, like special deals. And anyway, so I don't even want to give that energy, but it was actually a good case study of true human relationship skills. And I'm actually going to send him his video to make a mockery out of him, not because for the fun of it, it's because this guy needs to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. And of course, as a marketer, I'm always looking for an opportunity to learn from social skills that are lacking in people who deal with people. Anyways, so what can you do if you find yourself in a sales environment, specifically in real estate investing and in a down market? Well, in the book The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the seventh law, or the seventh lesson, is increase your ability to earn. Increase your ability to earn. And then your ability to earn can come from multiple sources of income. Has diversification enough in asset back, especially in the blockchain space, asset back opportunities that gives you the ability to earn, that does not come from your own productivity. Okay, so the first law, or the first lesson, is save at least 10% from what you earn. Second is put that 10% to work to increase. And third, beware of opportunity for loss or beware for scams. Okay, first save 10%. Second, make that 10% work for itself. In other words, do not eat the 10% you earn. Do not eat the children of the 10%. Put it to work. Second, make sure that you protect your increase, your economic increase from losses. Okay. Fourth, beware to invest an opportunity where, or invest your money with people who has the ability, the competence, and the know-how, and know exactly about investing. In other words, you do not invest money into areas that you don't know about. As I said, the blockchain space is a very questionable space. If you're going to be in that space, you need to know what you're doing or be surrounded by people who know what they're doing. And fourth, own the place that you live in. In other words, don't rent. Okay, when is the best time to buy real estate? Now is the best time, because with population control or population, with increased migration, with decreased liquidity in the market, you're going to need, no matter what the market is, even right now, instead of renting, because rent is going up and up. So right now, regardless of the interest rate, right now is the best time to buy. When was the best time to buy real estate? Well, obviously, during the 2008 was the best time to buy. I bought my condo. Actually, I could bought my condo 3 years earlier for about 80 grand less. If I was in the market, I was comfortable, and I didn't have a reason. I had a good deal with my Jewish landlord. I could stay there for as long as I want, and the relationship was perfect. Unless she lives on, she passed on, or I get married, there was no need, because I was comfortable. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I could afford to buy a place. Right now it's the best time. My credit is good. Why am I throwing money away? And in a very short time, in 8 years, my unit value went up and up and up. And periodically, I'm getting update about how my market is growing. My market, my demographic, the market where I am, a very affluent to be market. I couldn't buy where I live, but people who lived in the town where I was are moving to where I am, and basically forcing out the people who live there, the retirees, the older people, and the increased taxes, and they had to leave. Had I done so 2 or 3 years earlier, 4 years earlier, during the height of the mortgage crisis, I would have done extremely well. But that was then. When is the best time to buy? Now is the best time, regardless of the interest rate, because paying rent, okay, my mortgage is less than some people who are living in a very not so impressive place, paying more than I'm paying in a mortgage, and they're not even building equity. I had an opportunity to buy the unit next to me. In fact, I painted my neighbor's unit before he sold it. He told me he was going to sell it. I painted his unit for him, make some good money, and then he moved into his new condo. I painted that too. I had privileged information prior, multiple times, that I could have used the equity in my condo to buy multiple units, but I didn't want the headache of having to deal with tenants. Instead, I dabbled into crypto, lost some money, make a lot of money, but at the same time, I could have actually bought real estate for absolutely nothing, and in a couple of years, actually 6 years, I would have had equity and asset But it's not the end of it. We are just at the beginning of a new season. Anyways, where am I going with this? Solomon's, I mean, in Ecclesiastes, forget exactly, it says, divide, I believe it's 7 or 8, one of those. Divide your portions to seventh or to eighth. In other words, have multiple streams of cash flow, for you do not know what disaster lies ahead of you. Have diversity in multiple area, asset back, land, gold, silver, real estate, because you do not know what misfortune might come in the future. And so because you do not want to be taken by surprise, you have assets. By the way, this is not financial advice. You have assets, diversification in multiple asset classes, so that way you can be prepared for whatever seasons of life you find yourself in. So a real estate agent, a car salesman, a mortgage broker, or if you're in the business of people or in the business of selling whatsoever, there are seasonal aspects of selling. So you make some money selling cars, you make some money selling real estate, you make some money as a mortgage broker, okay? And then right there under your own nose, the blockchain space, a concept called tokenization. Tokenization is, imagine that, my friend who told me, John, who is the owner of this real estate brokerage offices, he has 3 offices, and Kathleen, who had the party, was manager of perhaps the leading agent in that office. And he told me that he basically had multiple units. He had multiple units that he has for sale, multiple units for doing Airbnb, and multiple houses. Is always looking. He's afraid of crypto because he doesn't want to participate in anything that he cannot touch, which I highly understand. So anyway, I did not want to make this a crypto thing. I wanted to learn about this man. I wanted to get inside his head, and not making our conversation about him. And I learned a lot. But at the same time, I've been reading about real estate tokenization. In other words, you can actually buy an entire unit. You could say a condo unit, or a single house, a single family house, whether you have the ability to acquire the whole unit yourself, or you can participate in fractional ownership of the same unit, where the real estate building, property, or office is tokenized into micro shares to allow individual non-accredited investors to participate as a fractional owner in the same unit, and enjoying the appreciation of the unit as the value goes up. Your micro shares is also going up, where there is the tokenization of art, real estate, commodities, music. Tokenization is here to stay, and eventually everything will be tokenized to allow the average investors an equal opportunity into the blockchain space to participate in the tokenization of asset-backed properties, commodities, or art, or instead of like buying a Mona Lisa that would cost millions, okay? What if a company like Masterworks digitizes, tokenizes the same asset and allow you to participate at a, you buy micro shares in fractional pieces of the same asset, giving you the same opportunity, giving you the same leverage increase of the asset, giving the nature of the asset itself. It could be anything, actually. And the financial industry is one that is set to be ready for tokenizations. Obviously, you've been learning about tokenization, about the Miracle Cash and Cash Flow NFT integration, and it's an opportunity, regardless of the market that you're in, to participate in having micro shares in the business that is generating revenue that does not come from your existing selling yourself. In other words, when you participate in that, you take advantage of the expertise of the company, of the CEOs of the company, who has nearly 10 years of experience and many years before, to have all the proprietary technologies and have multiple first to market and existing business models, and tokenizes the tokenization of that company created by Cash Flow NFT, where Miracle Cash is a technology company, Cash Flow NFT being the marketing company, and we have for the first time a tokenization marketplace for asset-backed or asset class products. And that asset class could be real estate leasing, a business that is generating revenue, where you have, if you're new to crypto, as a perfect segue, because you cannot avoid the proliferation of blockchain technology, the tokenizations of assets, businesses being tokenized in multiple ways, companies using the reward system as a way of tokenizing, an art piece, musicians may be tokenizing their talents or their services. Okay. Anyways, so the fifth law of in the book The Richest Man in Babylon, let me review. Well, have reasonable insurance. In other words, make sure that you have insurance. Something happens to you, so that way you don't leave your loved ones carrying the bag. And that's the sixth, I believe. And seventh law is increase your ability to earn. Constantly learning, so that way you can put yourself at a position, regardless of where the market is going. If your profession is going AWOL, you can adapt according to technology. And technology has always led any kind of trends, economic trends, shifts. Technology has always led, from the internet to the cell phone to the big companies, the big fours, Microsoft, Apple, Oracle, and all those big companies who actually led the way from the .com, and then you have the evolution of the blockchain technology, the Bitcoin white paper, the first NFT minted in 2014, and one sold 2021 for 98 million with absolutely zero backing, zero asset backing. And then we have 2022, 2023, and beyond. Tokenization. Big companies are positioning themselves because they don't want to be left out. And then, a few months ago, the European Union passed the MiCA law, market and crypto assets. The company, Miracle Cash, has been working within the framework of regulation, because the CEO saw that was the future. For crypto to have mainstream adoption, there has to be a place, a way to integrate mainstream. And the best way to do that is through a franchise model, brick and mortar business. Through ATM, people will get used to that. POS system, where people can go to a store and pay with crypto, or participate in an online business and pay with crypto. through exchanges. Regardless of how you interact with the technology, with the company, we are there to integrate, to bring into existence the mainstream. And then all you need is 2.5% market penetration, market acceptance for it to have a life of its own. Okay? First of all, you have the opportunity to influence your network, and your network is influencing you. And then you're influenced by the people you know, and they influence you, and so on and so on and so on. Regardless of what you do, an economic shift is here to stay, and you can either be part of it or watch it happen or regret what happened. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The question is, what part of it do you want to be in? Or you want to be on the front end of it or on the back end of it and see it happen and wish you could have paid attention? Now is the time. Anyways, so if you're in the mortgage business, real estate sales, car sales, any kind of people relationship business, a teacher, a lawyer, a trainer, this is perfect. The technology part of it doesn't really take too long to learn if you have a reliable coach to bring you on board, and you don't even have to know too much about crypto, just the basics. Once you know the basics, you know how to create an account and how to learn about the basic technology stuff, and then begin to basically positioning yourself so that way when all the big players are coming on board, you already have a base. And even before you understand it all, you have a business that is basically generating revenue, and while you don't even understand, you can learn as you earn, because as you get older, well, inflation would basically eat most of your depleted fiat earning. First of all, you're working for a liability that is losing value by the day, that your spending power is depleting, and you're exchanging a valuable asset, your time, for a liability that is losing value, and inflation is eating it as we go. And the market demand for your time is limited as you get older. So in a sense that your productivity is actually, unless you continue to learn, your ability to learn and you diversify your time assets, the best assets, tying it into a cash flow generating business, so that when you are no longer productive, you will have something to look forward to. So anyways, to end on a nice positive note, you can no longer decide to do nothing or to remain unaware or indifference. The opportunity cost of indifference is too high, and you cannot afford to be indifferent or sit by idle and do nothing while the economy is basically changing. If you're renting, well, that's a bad idea, because as soon as the economy shifts, you can refinance, and basically, and as your equity goes up anyway, by the time you refinance, you will make up for that cost that you pay in interest to a mortgage company. So there's never really a good time to buy real estate. Now is the time.